He's a broken mic.
All right. Hi, I'm Bryce Papenbrook, and I'm a voice actor.
Yay! Hi, I'm Cherami Leigh, and I'm also an actor, voice actor person.
Actor person.
Hi,
Actor person.
I'm Richard Epcar. I'm Ellyn Stern. I'm also a voice actor, and an actress, and a director, and a writer, and I
Janitor and a drum.
No, well, at home I am a janitor and a drum. I do it all.
I thought you should have stuck with that, because I was going to say, I'm Ellyn Stern. See, that would work.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Ellyn Stern. Thank you. I look much cuter in person than on my pictures. So should we tell them a little bit, why don't you guys tell them a little bit about the work you do?
Sure.
Why am I the moderator? Your mic's still broken. It's still not working. Your mic's not working.
Thank you, sis.
Thank God this never happens in the real world, right?
So I've been a voice actor since I was 8 years old. I got into voice acting because of my dad, which they knew him very well.
Love him very much.
We directed his father, and then we started bringing in Bryce.
Yeah, so
You were just a little pitzel at the time.
yes.
Very little.
Now he's a big pitzel.
This big.
I think the first day I stepped in the booth, I was with my dad at Saban. He was working on Power Rangers.
Yeah.
I used to try to pretend I was sick so I could go watch him work. And they had all the giant rubber monster suits there, so it was always cool to go in there and watch him work. He was doing Rito Revolto's voice. He's like the big skeleton dude on Power Rangers. And at the end of the session, I don't even remember who the director was, but he said...
Scott?
It could have been Scott Page, yeah. But he was like, hey, we need a kid's voice. And my dad's like, Bryce is a kid, throw him in the booth. And I jumped in and pretended to do what my dad was doing, and I was a voice actor.
Nice.
That was my start. And since then, a couple of my roles recently, I'm Kirito from Sword Art Online, he's narrating. I'm Reno Kumura from Blue Exorcist. And recently, I got to work on Pokemon Origins. I'm Red in Pokemon Origins.
Oh my god.
Okay. I started doing voice work when I was 7, similar story, and then I was just doing commercial work and I was an on-camera actor. And the adult VO department agent said, we need kind of a voice to come in and you can read really well because you're 7, but you sound like you're 4. So I did all of the VO kid lines for a bunch of commercials in Dallas. And then started getting into animation when I was 9 or 10, and it became kind of a thing that since I was comfortable in front of a mic and I knew how it worked, then people would just hire me. Since I was a kid, they didn't have to train somebody else. And then I've just auditioned for Funimation when I was 18 and started working on stuff since then. My first role in anime was Sai in Peach Girl, and then I worked on Soul Eater as Patty. I play Asuna in Sword Art Online, Lucy in Fairy Tale, Lizzie in Black Butler, and Liechtenstein in Hetalia.
Richard and I started doing anime before it even had a name. It was just Japanese animation, or the other animation, as we used to call it. We started doing it like 30 years ago. We first started doing Robotech, and I did... Yay! And I did all the other girl voices. There were like 2 female leads, and I'd come in and I'd pick up all what they call the bits. And so I don't remember which ones I did, but I used to go in and do them. That was the beginning. 30 years, I've got hundreds of titles to my name. And I just looked at the cheat sheet, so hopefully I'll remember. Recently, I'm in Ghost in the Shell, Innocence. I play Haraway. I'm in Bleach. I play Masaki Kurosaki. And then I'm in Mar. I play Jack's mom. I'm in Noen. I play Yu's mom. I'm everybody's mom. Hello, children. Yeah, I mean, I get a lot of mom. You do, you know her. And then, what else? Oh, I'm doing Gundam Unicorn right now. I play Martha Visk Carbine. She's a bitch. You know, the Dark Girls I love doing, you know, because they have character and dimension and they're fun. I love doing, like, regal characters and empresses and queens and witches and, you know, the archetypical kind of characters. Those are kind of my favorite characters to do. I've also been in I was in Transformers and Bobobo, and then some, and Digimon, and I mean, God, I've done so much. It's hard to remember all the stuff I've done. But anyhow, that's a little bit about me. And I mean, looking at Bryce sitting here, I mean, knowing him and watching him grow up since he was a little boy, it's just, and his father was fantastic. If I can do my impression of your father.
Please do.
Well, the physical impression of him is much bigger, but I'll just do the voice. Hi, Papenbrook. That's the way his father sounded. No kidding, right?
Well, I'm not sure that was a dead-on impersonation.
Can you do your dad?
No way. There's no way.
It's close.
My voice is the exact opposite voice of my dad.
His father sounded like he'd gargled gravel for breakfast, and
his voice sounded like years and years of whiskey and smoking. It sounded fantastic.
We did a cartoon years ago. What was it called? Was it Little Punk, where he played the officer?
Yeah, Little Punk.
And I played all the women. I played all the women in that, and Bob was the officer. And I went. And I played this high. She had a voice somewhat like this. Hello, and he was just hi, officer. and it was we had so much fun with his father, and I miss him so much. He was a great guy, and Bryce also is a really great guy, but. Sitting here. This is the first time we've done a convention together.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, it's so cool that it's been 8 years since my dad has passed, and it's so cool that the memory of him is still so strong and so vivid in so many people's minds. It's amazing that he just left that. It's really cool.
He was a great guy. He was a great actor and a great person. How do you follow that? I'm Richard Epcar, and I've been doing this a long time. I started out Robotech as well, did Digimon, and a bazillion other. I'm mostly known as Bateau and Ghost in the Shell. In the game world, I'm Ansem in Kingdom Hearts. I'm a Kingdom Hearts fan. And I'm the Joker in 3 Batman games, including Injustice, which just got Fighting Game of the Year. I'm very proud of that. And I also directed Arkham Origins, the new Batman game, and played 3 characters in that. And a bunch of other stuff. And I'm in a lot of the franchises, like Resident Evil, Saints Row, Call of Duty Black Ops, just a bunch of that stuff. And been doing this a long time and direct a lot of stuff. I'm directing an original animated feature right now. I'm in Legend of Korra on Nickelodeon. And we've been, like Ellyn says, we've been doing this a long time, and God, I'm exhausted. But it's great to be back in Tucson. I'm actually a Wildcat. I went to U of A. So, I'm here at U of A. So it's really, I have not been back since I graduated, so I was really, really excited to come to Tucson. And,
2 years ago.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So I graduated when I was 12, so it's great to be back.
I also have to say, I was in Arizona this last year directing a project. I don't know whether any of you heard about it. I directed Star Wars into the Navajo language. Did any of you hear about it?
We did now.
It was the first time any Native American language was dubbed. And it's the first time that any Native American language has been heard in a movie fully. And so it was a profound, unbelievable experience. We did it in Window Rock, Arizona. Richard did the adaptation for it, and then
Well, I supervised. I don't speak Navajo, but
yeah, every time I go, I directed it, and then people go, "Do you speak the language?" No. Fluently. But that's how Richard and I started out. We were doing foreign language films also.
Yeah.
We did like so many of the best foreign films. Women on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown, Babette's Feast.
And I just did the Grandmaster. I don't know if you guys have seen that or not, the new movie.
It was nominated for 2 Academy Awards.
Yeah.
I did one of the roles in it.
Yeah.
Who did you play in Babette's Feast?
I played the farting grandmother. It was my
And she's a
proud
method
moment.
actress. It's kind of scary at the house for a while. A lot of cabbage. So do you guys have any questions for us while we're here at your lovely convention? Okay, goodbye.
Thank you.
There we go.
What's the most memorable convention or one that you look forward to most each year? When you come down, and what's the greatest response you've gotten? What are some of your biggest love stories as far as people coming up to really appreciate your work?
I can start because I'm so new to conventions. This is, I think, my 12th convention that I've been to, so still relatively new. I've been doing this for just over a year, and I've had a lot of great experiences. I went to a convention in Seattle when they announced my performance in Sword Art Online. It was called Sakura-Con, and yeah, it was really cool because what they did was they snuck me in the back of the room. And there were probably 1,400 people. The room was totally packed. So I was sitting in the front before they announced, and most people don't recognize voice actors, especially if they're new to going to cons. So no one knew who I was until they played a video of Cherami and I talking, and then I popped up and I had a sword from Kirito and jumped up on stage, and like the crowd was going crazy, and I was just like, wow, this is amazing. This is amazing that my work from a little tiny bubble in Burbank could turn into something like this that's this awesome.
Yeah.
Also, just recently, I went to a convention in Perth, Australia. And Perth is the most isolated city in the world, the isolated capital city in the world. So there's about 1 million people there, and there's nothing on one side of the city, and then ocean on the other. So it's
Maybe that's where the plane is.
Yeah, it could be over. It could be in Perth, and they just wouldn't know. So I was in Perth, and tons and tons of people knew my work, and knew my work from when I was a kid. Just blown away that people on the other side of the world had, seen my work and loved it. So I was just blown away by that. It's such a unique and such a cool experience doing conventions. So I'm ecstatic to be invited again and again to continue to do that.
I remember I went to when I got cast in Peach Girl, and my awareness of the anime was Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon, Pokemon. That's like all I thought anime was. And so then they said, yeah, we're going to take you to Boston to promote this show, and I was like, well, that's cool. I don't know how we're going to promote it because we just did it. I don't know how anyone knows how this works. And so I went to my first convention, and everybody, like, again, knew what was happening. They knew the show and knew what my character was. And then I went back to Boston again last year for Sword Art Online when we premiered the first 2 episodes. And everyone was so excited. It was the second time I'd been back to Boston, which was really cool. And then I had a similar experience when we promoted Soul Eater, and we went to New York Comic Con, and the whole weekend of the anime convention was all Soul Eater all the time. And I remember Micah and I walked in, and it was like really one of the first like huge shows like that I had done. And I walked in with Micah, we're walking around the dealer's room, checking everything out, taking pictures with our wall scroll characters and all of our animated selves. And we go in and we watch the first 2 episodes. We thought we saw people like leaving near the end because it was just packed. There were thousands and thousands of people. We saw people leaving and we thought, oh my gosh, they don't like it, and we were terrified. And then we found out that they were trying to get into the autograph line. You had to make a decision. Did you want the free poster and the autograph session, or did you want to watch the first 2 episodes of the show? Because the people that wanted the poster had been waiting in line for 13 hours. And it was like insane that people were that excited, and they kept like signing. They said, do you guys want to sign? And we were like, we'll sign forever. This is so cool. So I mean, like you said, the fact that people, I mean, we're getting to stand in a box and watch cartoons and laugh and joke around and create a character and imagine for a living, and then that people think that's fun and want to support us and tell us we did a great job, and we just want to say thanks for supporting us so we can keep doing this. It's seriously, it's mind-blowing, and it's crazy that people will support me just based on my voice, and then they'll want to watch a show that I did, or an episode that I was on, of a TV show, or a film that I worked on, and that, like, it again, it's so amazing. It's such a great supportive environment, so. Yeah.
Well, I agree with everything you say. I mean, it's amazing coming to conventions and seeing the enthusiasm for the roles that we've created. And, you know, we don't know what's going to happen. We go into the booth, we create a character, and then it's kind of like Sally Field. You like me? You really like me? One of the perks, one of the pluses of having done it is going all over the world and meeting fans and seeing different parts of the country. Richard and I were in Scotland, we've been to England, we've been to Ireland, Australia, and I mean, it's amazing. It's just amazing that this work is viewed by everyone all over the world, that it transcends the little booth that we created it in. And so really thank you so much for liking our work and appreciating it and letting us share with you and you sharing with us, because that makes it all the more special.
Yeah. You know, I was talking about it earlier about the first convention that they asked me to go to, the Robotech convention in Anaheim, and I'd even forgotten I was in the show. I said, am I in the show? He goes, oh yeah, you played three leads in the show. And I did? I said, oh yeah, you played Bendix and Lunk and Grell. And I said, oh. He said, you have tapes of it so I can see it? He said, so he sent it to me. But the thing that blew me away was I went there and the people were just blown away by the show, how it touched their lives, how people would tell me they run home after school to watch it, and it was amazing to me